story has already been updated. The updated version is still available, and the original reporting was taken down. I want to provide context and a direct examination, as well as provide an apology. Let me put up the picture full mass. Last week, 35 million individuals viewed a video. It was viral. This video showed a woman screaming help and black males around her disputing about a bike. Well, in that, there were two narratives. One narrative was to believe the young people. The other narrative was to believe the adult. In that instance, I believed the young person. I still believe that there's a good faith reason why both possibly believed that they actually had access to that bike. At no point did I ever believe that the young black male was trying to rob the female in question. But now it has been reported that there's a receipt showing she had a good faith reason to believe that the city bike was hers. Naturally, that information has not been rebutted nor confirmed at all by the others involved. We're still waiting for an update. Also, City Bike has not confirmed, at least at this point, how this could have happened where two individuals possibly believed that they both rented that same bike at the same time. Over 35 million views, well over 100 publications covered it, and there were two narratives. My advocacy was connected to their youth, not their race. There was also a statement from the hospital that called the incident disturbing. I want everyone to know that my advocacy was not in bad faith. It doesn't mean that it wasn't wrong. It doesn't mean that the youth operated in bad faith either. Possibly there's an explanation why both believed they were in fact entitled to that particular bike. I say that to highlight a reality here, okay? I'm a zealous advocate. I've always been a zealous advocate, will continue to be so. But I'm not Fox News. When I'm presented with evidence that shows, well, at least contrary to the overall conclusion that somehow she knew she did not have access to that bike, well, that's not true if the receipts are real. She believed she had access to the bike. So for that matter, to the woman who was in the middle of this, I submit to you my apologies as a man. Now, I do not like the fact that you screamed, help me, when you were not being robbed. I still have an issue with that. And I don't like the people who are saying all over social media that these young black men were trying to rob the woman in that moment. I do not believe that's what happened. Still don't believe that's what was happening. I believe that they both believed that they had access to that city bike. And until we have additional information, well, that's where it's at now. But I want to make it very clear. What we do here is opinion commentary. Sometimes that opinion can be incorrect, but it doesn't mean it was developed nor presented in bad faith. And when there's a moment like this, I can't speak for everybody else, I can speak for me. When there's a moment like this, I will always look into this camera and let you know specifically that I am sorry for getting it wrong, because I give a damn about getting it right. And so, ma'am, once again, I apologize. And I concur with your attorney, who, by the way, I don't think the attorney believes, based on his own wording, that the young men were involved in a robbery as it has been presented or suggested on social media. A New York City hospital. New York City hospital worker was caught on a viral video quarreling with a group of young black men over a city bike, is now receiving threats to her and her family. The woman's lawyer said Friday, Sarah Comrie, a physician's assistant at Bellevue Hospital, became a target of an internet ire over the last week when footage of her arguing over one of the popular bike rentals was shared over and over again on social media. Her lawyer, Justin Marino, said there is much more to the story than what the video depicts. I am trying to stop the threats to her family and to her by clearing her name and letting people know what actually occurred, Marino said. Civil rights lawyer Ben Crump, according to the Daily News, Ben Crump posted on social media that Comrie tried to weaponize her tears to paint this man as a threat, but appears to have taken the post down. Marino, the attorney, said Comrie has two main goals at this point. One, she wants her job, and two, she wants to walk the streets safely. Marino said he has warned the hospital and the Health Plus Hospitals Corporation that he will stand up for Comrie's rights. Companies are permitted to do investigations when they see a concern. He said, I will have an issue with them if and when they move to terminate her. A spokesperson from the hospital declined to address Marino's specific concerns, but a statement posted by the agency on Twitter earlier this week called the video of Comrie disturbing. The provider is currently out on leave and will remain on leave pending a review. The statement says, as a health system, we are committed to providing an environment for our patients and staff that is free from discrimination of any kind. Marino also says that he and Comrie have receipts to prove that she did in fact pay for the city bike in question. Once again, as I have said, if that's true, and I have no reason to believe it's not, okay? That means that she did have a good faith effort to believe that the bike was hers in that moment. As I've also said, it doesn't mean that the young men were trying to rob her. They also could have had a good faith effort to believe that no, the bike was actually theirs in that moment, okay? I would like to see this fully resolved, but I also want to remind everyone, that we do very important work at Indisputable and it will not stop. Do you remember Mr. Vaughn? This is the kind of work we care deeply about as well. You see, nobody would cover that story. See, Mr. Vaughn was about to die inside of a prison in Alabama. The individuals incarcerated with Mr. Vaughn, they were aware of the plan. So they snuck in a cell phone, took pictures of Mr. Vaughn and sent it out to the free world. Nobody covered it because they did not believe these pictures. Well, I went to Alabama. I saw the pictures, contacted the sister, and I went to Alabama. Mr. Vaughn is alive, and Mr. Vaughn is now receiving medical treatment at another facility, and Mr. Vaughn looks good today. We have covered countless stories. We'll continue to do so regardless of race, regardless of your background, sexual orientation, we don't care. We advocate for those who have been historically marginalized. And that is the important work that all of us must engage in. So once again, I submit to you my apologies as well. And once again, my apologies to Ms. Comrie. At least we know that you had a good faith reason to believe you had access to that rented bike. But I see the comments also about screaming help. I understand that. I do believe that was a little much. But once again, the conclusion that you did not have access to it, I completely, I want to make this clear. I completely changed my conclusion that you had no access, nor did you believe you did. All right, okay. I hope that settles it. I did it last week. We took it down, and this is my update for Monday. We will see if this story develops any further. Okay, Ben, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, situations like that can obviously be really complicated, tech issues and whatnot. I think, yeah, screaming help is probably a little bit much, right? But like, tensions are really high right now. And I think there's a lot of like sort of like retail conflict that turns into these big blowups. And like ultimately, I think fundamentally, it just speaks to our need as a society to approach small conflicts like this with a little bit more patience, understanding, and assumption of good faith.
Well said. Very well said.